wow, thank you. Thank you. It's quite the turnout, considering that we're living through a pandemic. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you. So, my name is Deshon, and I'm going to be joining the YMCA's team for the next few months to hopefully connect with some of you guys. I hope to do some virtual hangouts and webinars for anyone that's interested. I'll also be posting videos like this every week for the next few months. My task is to help you guys better understand mental health. Your own mental health, but also mental health in general. I know it seems like mental health is always being talked about, but that's just the topic. We as humans don't really take time to understand our own mental health, our own triggers. And TBH, the average person doesn't even know who to go and speak to. It's normal to feel anxious and afraid while we deal with the effects of this pandemic. We know the situation is stressful for everyone. People living with illness and addictions may be finding it especially difficult to cope. And if you know someone who's struggling, we can help. You can contact us. I can only imagine that, for most of you, you must be at wit's end trying to live a normal teenage life without all of this screwing everything up. You're probably frustrated that you can't see your friends, and if you do get to see your friends, you have to wear a mask. Now, don't get me wrong. Your mask game can be an essential part of your drip. Okay, but for real, we don't know a lot about this disease. And because of it, we've all been stuck in some lame situations. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. How do we deal with feeling isolated and feeling depressed? Is what we're feeling actually depression? Or are we just having a bad time right now? Believe me, a lot of us are having a bad time right now. How do you deal with the anxiety that comes from going outside? We used to get major anxiety going outside before all of this. Who do you talk to right now? What are you supposed to do when the people who cause you the most stress are sitting there right in your house? I mean, right there. They're behind you. You can probably hear me right now. You can't come to our YMCA programs. How do you communicate? There are ways to connect, I promise you. And there are places that you can still use, and places that you can still go to. But before all of that, I have a small little activity that you can try out if you feel like it. For those of you who are still watching, I'll do it with you. I'll do it right now. But feel free to pause this video as we go along or rewind it if you need to. Okay, now thinking about this new world that we're living in with the coronavirus, I want you to draw a picture of yourself standing outside your bedroom door first thing in the morning. Outside of your bedroom door, draw or write all of the challenges that you're confronted with on an average day that might cause your body to emit stress chemicals. So basically, when you get up in the morning and you walk outside, what's freaking you out? What are you worried about on a daily basis? What are the things that come to your mind immediately? Actually, let's just think about today. That's the best way to do this activity. What's on your mind right now? Let's just think about that for a second. Here are some of the things that I came up with. Maybe it's coronavirus and staying healthy and staying safe. Maybe you're stressed out by all the debates that come along with it. Maybe you don't like being isolated and having to stay home. Maybe you're upset because your parents have been laid off and you're worried about what's coming next. Maybe you're worried about going back to school and the new school routine. You have to wear a mask. Can you hang out with your friends? Maybe you're worried about getting good grades still. I know I would. Maybe you're worried about not fitting in. Maybe you just came from a new community and not only do you have to make new friends, but you can't even get close to them to do so. I get stressed out too. I literally just moved across the country. I don't really know anybody here. The person that I live with, they work in a school, so that's concerning for me. Because of the coronavirus, I went about 6 months without working, which is the longest I've gone without working since I was 18 years old. So things like money, the unknown, those are type of things that have me stressed out right now. And all that stress can become anxiety. And in my case, when I get anxiety, the anxiety turns into depression. And when I get depressed, I typically want to sleep all day, and I typically don't want to engage with other people. However, I've learned that there are ways to take all of these stressors and use that fear of the unknown and turn it into a good tool and turn it into something that you can use. Okay, so back to your picture. When you look at it and you look at all of these things, what's happening? Is your heart rate going up? Are your palms getting sweaty? Are your muscles tensing? Do you just get exhausted from looking at all of this and thinking about all the stress? And now you just want to take a nap? You're thinking, what does this dude want me to do? I'm supposed to look at this picture of everything that stresses me out? To do what with it? Be stressed out even more? Well, actually, I was trying to kill two birds with one stone. Drawing can be a very great activity to help deal with stress. It's tranquil, it's quiet, you're focused, it's colorful. But another thing that you're doing is you created a map for your brain. Knowing the landscape of stressors that might be affecting your life provides you with information that you can use for managing and coping with stressors. You have to be intentional to try to pinpoint what bothers you before you can figure out how to deal. Stressors change and fluctuate. The stressors you drew today might not be the same a week from now. You will resolve some. Some new ones will come up, and some will persist for what feels like an eternity. Now, I am no doctor. I cannot diagnose people. But what I can say is that if you don't recognize what causes you stress and how each type of stressor affects your body, then that's how you can find yourself with some serious mental health struggles. If you're still watching this, thank you. You're a real one, and I appreciate you. Now, I'm finally going to start to conclude this. But before I go, I just want to let you know some of the cool things that I have found to help me deal with this pandemic and help me get out of my house. But before I go and list a bunch of programs, I just want to say, above all, always try to find somebody to talk to. You're right, nobody knows how you feel, but you can explain it the best you can, and a lot of people are willing to listen the best that they can. And that's what we do here at the YMCA. We want to be your supports. Our staff is full of qualified youth workers that love what they do. And if you try out our programs, just gave us a shot, who knows, you might come out of it with some brand new supports. The YMCA has free programs for you guys, especially you guys that might be facing any barriers related to school, peers, family, employment, housing, addictions, pregnancy. We're here to help you. You can get paired up for one-to-one support, or you can also join one of our several other programs. We have anger management help. We have a program called How to Adult that is what it sounds like. And we also have rec nights, so we'd love to hear your input on activities that we could do for our rec nights. The email's on the screen again, somewhere. And these things There's a lot of resources and supports in this city and this province, which I think are really cool. There's a lot of gender-based and family violence prevention stuff. There's mental health supports. If you find yourself transitioning and moving homes, they have a lot of landlord advisory supports and supports for vulnerable populations. They have financial supports for individuals. There's a lot of federal resources that you can get and health information that you can get. And it all sounds like a lot, but if you come to us at the YMCA, we can help you get connected with all of these resources. Again, you might not need all of these things specifically right now. Maybe you just want someone to talk to and hang out with. We can help you with that too. I know some of us are stuck at home and we want to be able to talk about certain things, but we can't because there's always somebody around. I know the feeling. I live in a studio apartment with my girlfriend and she's always around. Like she's right here watching me record the... I didn't say anything. What? No. What? I'll be right back, guys. Sorry. As I was saying, we're the technology generation, guys. We can find so many ways to communicate without it being verbal. Almost every program and resource that I mentioned before, you can access through your device. And if you do get your parents to sign you up for our programs, then eventually we can start to meet you guys in your neighborhoods and connect with you that way, which is pretty cool. Thank you for hanging out with me, guys. I plan to make some more videos in the future that I promise are going to be more entertaining. I've been working with some people. Wheels are in motion. Just work with me. Stick with me here. We're going to have a fun time, I promise you. Also, think about YMCA's YTP programs. Consider signing up so you can get some one-on-one support. And I want to do some live group hangouts and just play some games and just do some fun stuff via Zoom calls or Meets calls or Google Hangouts. Whatever you're on, I will join you there. Have a great rest of your day and stay tuned.